I had plenty of coffee left. No way to really utilize it. I mean, I could probably do something and boil a little water and run it through a strainer somewhere. I think I have one. But, yeah, it's, plenty of coffee, I guess, but survival food. In cans. Damn right. Cheap in cans. Not the healthiest. It's healthier than poison food. Had to tape this off. Tried to clean it. Washed it like 15 times. Brillo pad, Scotch pad, thing. Hot water, boiling fucking hot water. Finally gave up. It's just too thick. On the walls, I think I eventually could. There was a spot there I showed in an earlier video that you may or may not be able to see with this bright light. It's slightly discolored from, I don't think you can see it with this light. I don't think so. But anyway. And then I think it would clean up, but I have a different plan for that. It's not hot now. It's unusually cold here in Texas, so I don't think I'm going to have to worry about it for a while, at least not too much. That's why when I heat, I use these to heat with. I pull them out. I was worried about all this, but I burned it, and I've washed it, and I've scrubbed it. Actually, if you could see down inside there, I don't think you can, how that metal is pitted. That's stainless steel. I mentioned that in an earlier video. This one I never used, so why it's the worst, it looks the worst, I don't know. I used to have, and the others have holes in them too, not just that one, that's stainless steel, but the others as well. I scrubbed this and cleaned this, and well, anyway, I was going to also say that it was also on this and a few of my other tools laying out. Started to pit it, and I wiped it off. You can barely see the stains of it now. If you look at any stains at all on that, were from that shit that was on it. It was all over it. It wasn't on the handle, it was only on the metal, because they were laying out. I had them laying out on my toolbox right there, which I have covered now, and a couple of other small tools. And one was a little socket wrench. It's really smooth and brand new, and luckily it cleaned off good. This didn't clean off as good, but I think it's gone. Seems like when you clean it off of different kinds of steels and metal, once you clean it, it's done. But when it's on copper or brass or any kind of a copper alloy like that, or bronze, that it just doesn't stop. It starts that fucking chemical reaction with the what is it, an alkaloid of some type gets in the metal, and it doesn't stop. It just keeps eating it. It does not stop. I think on metal, I've noticed that you can stop it. At least it looks like you can from the knives and the different items I've had that's had this shit on it. Here, what I may do, I cleaned it like 15 times, like I said, scrubbed it, boiling hot water, different kinds of cleaners, steel wool, and it's still on there. And I got a bunch out of it. There's a crevice right here, a crack, and there's a lot of that yellow shit all down through there. It was even, it was flush here, the yellow stuff, same as the yellow outside, the yellow everywhere else, the yellow on the stove, the yellow that's been on everything, the yellow in the bathroom. It's not always yellow, sometimes it's brownish. That's why it fits in good with the stove, you know. Like I said, I used to be leery about that, but it's been baked so hard that if there's a little coming off, but it's not enough to really hurt anything, because it's been burned and washed and anyway, one day I may make a video when it warms up, and I may pull that tape back some, cut it off, get some out, show you, and then tape it back off again. I think that's the best thing to do with that for now anyway. I may or may not do that, but trust me, it's all down through there. Still in that crack, not like it was. I got a lot. I'd say I got 70 to 80% of it out of there. But I don't, there's a crack there. And you can see how deep it goes, basically. I may have to cover that. I should cover that. Yeah, now that I've seen that with my aging eyes. And this, I don't use that to cook. Now, sometimes I'll set stuff over there, like the other day. I think I made a video where I had a piece of chicken sitting there, and I keep them covered. I cook them with this, invariably, right here, which I'm using for heat now. So I use that just now to set stuff on. I used to use this because I could turn the heat off. I wouldn't be using heat, so I wouldn't have to worry about it burning the food. But now I set stuff over there. I think like I said, I think I had one video previously where I had a piece of chicken right there, but you know, lid on it always. Sometimes I take it off after it's cold. I'm going to eat it soon. But these, I had several of these, and I was using that just for a spot to set pots, actually pans, actually skillets. This had it in it too, and I cleaned it. I don't know if you can see that spot there. Yeah, it's still got some residual stuff in it. Actually, it was in my, and I used to keep this here with a couple of other pans in it. One pan I just said, I cleaned it enough to where it wouldn't hurt anybody, and I threw it away. You know, some guy, homeless dude found it in the dump or wherever the trash goes. I didn't want somebody to get hurt. So I did clean the other one, but I did throw it away because I didn't spend the time on it I did with this one. I scrubbed this one a lot more carefully because I'm going to use it one day to eat out of, and I don't really, or I may want to sell it, you know? I may want to sell it. I got most of this stuff to sell. So that's why I got this shit, was a lot of it. To use it, last the rest, you know, last for years and years and years, and then sell it. The only bad thing about this one is, this handle gets hot as hell. It gets as hot as the rest of the skillet. This cheap old thing here, I don't think it's American made. Probably not. Got it from Publishers Clearinghouse. But the handle is awesome because it doesn't heat up with the pot like it does on this one. This one you have to use a glove if you want to move it around, or a rag or something. Let me think. I was going to say something else too that I'm forgetting right now. I didn't want to forget anything. Oh, I have another video I made. Not this, but this is also something I don't want to forget. I think I'm forgetting what it is. That I had deleted along with the other video. I deleted about the chunks of stuff all over everything, the little chunks of crap, and I did I found that and then brought it back from being deleted on my phone so I could put it up, and I put it up I think yesterday. Then I got another video where I showed the spots of the crap that's on the stove, and yeah, let's see, there's that, there's that. Oh, I had a coffee pot. The coffee, yeah, that's what it was. I think that is the final thing. That is the final thing. I think I will mention. If I forget anything else, I've done the most important things. Yeah, normally I only use this thing for heat, if I use it at all. Because if it's in the 50s, I won't even use anything for heat. But it's down now around freezing, give or take. A little below maybe, I haven't looked. I opened the door, aired it out a little bit, which, airing it out, you can see the stuff outside the door on the ground where I poured the hot water, and the stuff where the rain hit it. It's reddish brown stains on the concrete now. Yeah. All the way from like my door, midway down on the concrete. They just did it to where so I couldn't open the door and get fresh air. Isn't that special? But anyway, I had a coffee pot that used to sit right here, and I'd seen it on it. I noticed every time I started using it that I would get that taste in my mouth, and I couldn't figure it out. Finally, I seen it. It was on the freaking coffee pot itself. When I turned the burner on, it was on the burner. Yeah, the brown crap. Little bumpy knobs of it. Just heating up, and just like this, but bigger, you know, thicker. So I scrubbed it some, and then I threw it in the trash. Threw it away. So now, that day I quit coffee. And you must know that when I drink coffee, I drank about a pot or so a day, and I make it really strong because I think coffee must have a good flavor. Plus I use Cafe Bustelo, and I make it really strong. I like that Zach Wild coffee too, but I cannot afford it very much. I think I still have an empty bag of that. It's really cool. It's like 20 bucks a pound. I can get Cafe Bustelo for like 12 or 13 bucks for 2 pounds, I think it is. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of this video. I mentioned that. Mentioned the coffee pot, threw it away after I cleaned it enough to where I think it's relatively safe. Not completely safe, but not if somebody did ever use it, because it's in perfectly good shape, that eventually it would burn off and they wouldn't even know what the fuck it was. They would just probably think it was some kind of coffee sludge. They wouldn't fucking know. You wouldn't know if I hadn't told you. And if I had not survived, I would not know either. But I have survived so far. And that is the end of this video.